couple of weeks ago, I got a letter. There was a letter sent to the chief's office, and it had information related to an inappropriate relationship with a 14-year-old. The information in the letter, everything, we could rule out everybody but you.
It's facilitating, encouraging, offering, or soliciting sexual conduct or engaging in sexual communication with a minor.
Police officers are seen as an essential force in protecting society from criminal predators. But what happens when the worst predators are the officers themselves?
Images and some GIFs were uploaded through the backup service. Cybertips, there was 141 images.
Just everything.
Adult or child.
Adult.
They didn't report any adult with it.
Yeah.
It's all child. Almost all of them were child.
These were the moments when predatory cops got caught red-handed by their partners. We begin with a case where an anonymous tip exposed a sheriff's intern just hours before he was set to be sworn in as an officer.
This is the subject of criminal investigation.
He then asked me if I could take off my leggings for him and show him. A couple days later, he snapped me when he was in his uniform. I asked him if he was a cop, and he said yes.
Or soliciting images from a minor.
On March 4th, 2024, an investigation was launched following anonymous reports of suspicious behavior involving an intern at the River County Sheriff's Office in Florida. He was allegedly posing under a false identity to approach underage girls on social media, asking them for intimate photos. But his actions were about to come to an end, just hours before he was set to officially become a police officer.
So, I'm going to explain why I'm here. Okay, before I do that, this is the subject of criminal investigation. Okay, so I'm going to advise you your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand these rights? Okay. So, the reason I'm here is the sheriff's office received a complaint, and as a result of that complaint, an investigation was launched. And the complaint was that you were still trying to solicit photos from an underage minor. Okay. So, in response to that, a search warrant was issued. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you that search warrant now.
Any search warrant we do for anything, we have to read the search warrant to the person we're serving it to, or the house, or whatever the case may be. So this is going to be for you.
Standard procedure. We have to do this. So, in the name of the state of Florida, to all in singular. The sheriff of River County, his lawful deputies, the commissioner of Florida Department of Law Enforcement, any duly constituted agents in any public. I'm going to ask you now, are you willing to speak to me?
Right now we only have one side, so.
I mean, what is the outcome of this investigation? What are the avenues that you can take here? Am I leaving here in handcuffs?
No, we're talking to you.
We have probable cause for
your warrant. So your warrant's going, your phone's
That's
going
just for the phone.
This is crazy to me.
Okay.
I mean.
Yeah, we were not happy when we heard about that this morning.
No.
We were pulled in this morning and said, hey, something popped up. Somebody's alleging certain situation. You guys need to look into it. So that's what we did. Right now we only have one person that we spoke to, and we never, as you know, you never arrest somebody on one person's story. So that's why.
Arrested? I mean,
if what?
You said you never arrest somebody with one side.
Right, we've only talked to one person. We didn't talk to you, so that's why we're here. We got the search warrant for the
We're here to
phone.
collect evidence.
The suspect was later identified as Key Cromer after one of the victims recognized him during a routine orientation at a county school. She reported that he had made multiple attempts to contact her through social media in the past.
Your messages are implicated in somebody talking to a 16-year-old. Okay, so obviously we have to look into that. We can't just ignore that.
Right.
So we'd like to hear your side of the story if you're willing to speak to us, but that's your decision. If you want to talk to us and tell us what's going on,
Fantastic.
and great. You want to tell us, hey, pound sand, I don't want to speak to you, that's your right as a citizen as well. I can't direct you what you need to do now. I can only ask you if with your rights in mind, if you're willing to speak to me.
And if I'm not willing to speak to you, I mean, what happens?
You're going to walk out the
take
door
your
and go
phone.
home.
We take your phone.
We're going to take your phone. That's it.
I know this
and
whole
I don't mean
situation
to
sucks.
be disrespectful to you
Absolutely,
too.
I get
It's
it.
just, I mean, the way I was raised, have a lawyer.
Okay.
It's totally your call. I get
I don't
it.
want to be disrespectful to you guys. I don't want to.
It's not being disrespectful. That's why the first thing we do is, these are your rights. We have an investigation, like he said. So somebody's alleging that you are soliciting nude images from a minor. That's what the allegations are. That's why we're here. We never, honest to God, we never want to talk to one of our own. It sucks, but it is what it is. Just like you go on the road, you got to take every call as it comes. So we had a call that we had to investigate. What we have gathered so far gave us enough probable cause to get a search warrant for your phone. It in no way at this point gave us probable cause to arrest you right now. Because like I said, we have one person's side of the story. Now we have your phone. If in your phone you have a bunch of kitty porn, then we got problems. So, but like Detective Scribner said, we read your rights. It is completely up to you. It's not disrespectful in any way, but it's completely up to you. If you want to tell us anything, you have the right to stop at any point. If you don't want to talk to us and say, no, you know what, I want a lawyer, absolutely understand.
At this point, when investigators requested permission to further examine the contents of his phone, Key showed clear signs of nervousness, but it wouldn't save him from what his actions had already set in motion.
I don't want to say that I want a lawyer and then go to jail while you have my phone.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not in handcuffs, you're not going to jail right now. Okay? You are not going to jail right now. If you want to talk to a lawyer, 100%, we understand. We're not here to make up your mind and do that. We're not here to sway you. I'm telling you right now, if you say lawyer, I'm out the door. Okay? There's going to be some administrative stuff on the side.
Just because it's an investigation.
Because it's an investigation. But right now, the only thing I'm here to do is collect your phone. And if you would like to speak to me, great. If you don't, great.
Understood.
So that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you direction one way or the other. I've read your rights. If you want a lawyer, 100% understand.
With your phone, I will say, I'm sure you heard the part, it's court ordered that you're compelled to allow access to the phone via biometrics, meaning if it's face recognition
I have
or...
no problem with that. Yeah, okay. It's just the interviewing.
No, I get it.
Do you have a password for your phone?
Yes, would you like to take it down?
Yes.
Holy crap. It's an iPhone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
It's a long password.
Like I said, with the counts, I don't have my phone, so I can't do anything about that. But I'll be home soon and whatnot, so. Bye. Thank you.
I would have stepped out, but my work phone has case information on it. Not necessarily yours, but a lot.
A good way to do business. All right, thanks, sir. Have any questions for us?
What investigators found on his phone confirmed the worst. Key had been messaging underage girls using a fake age, building trust before making his requests. The first victim was a 16-year-old girl. When she saw Key at her school, the fear was immediate.
The guy that was sending me, who was asking me to send him.
Do you have water in there now? You look nervous.
Yeah.
You do? You're not in trouble. You know that, right? Okay. What's your date of birth?
You're not in trouble, okay? So, I get this is hard to talk about in front of two complete strangers. So, we're going to take this nice and slow here real fast. Now, you said a guy was sending you messages asking you for news.
Yes.
So, what platform was he messaging you?
Snapchat.
Okay. And what is your name on Snapchat? And what was the name of the person sending you messages?
Kai Cromer.
So, when did he start contacting you?
So I knew him from, I think it was 2 years ago, probably now. I worked, I was we didn't really speak, but that's how we met. But he added me through Quick Add on Snapchat, so it pretty much, if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much just you can click the add button and it pulls up anybody that's a mutual friend. So maybe you have someone that he has on Snapchat, so it pulls your name up and you can add anyone there.
Okay.
So he added me off of that.
And that was 2 years ago, you said?
No. I knew him from 2 years ago.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
This was, I want to say maybe a month ago.
Okay.
He added me off of that. We were snapping back and forth. He didn't really do anything, like, when we started talking. I didn't know that he was over the age of 18, because I knew him from before, so I didn't think anything of it.
Okay.
And And then he started like asking me. So he first said I was really pretty. He said thank you.
The girl reported that it initially seemed like a simple conversation with a teenager. However, Key later made an inappropriate request for a photo. When she refused, she stated that he used his uniform in an attempt to intimidate her.
He then asked me if I could take off my leggings for him and show him, and I told him no. Told him I had to leave the house soon, so I couldn't. And then he asked me just to keep the leggings on and show him, and I said no, I have to leave. I didn't really know what else to say at that point, and then I thought he would stop because I said no.
Right.
So I just left it alone. Usually, I mean, I have a long blocked list of guys that have done that to me, so I'll just block them. But since I knew him from before, I didn't really think he would go very far. Couple days later, he snapped me when he was in his uniform. I asked him if he was a cop, and he said yes. I asked him how old he was. He said, I honestly don't think he told me how old he was, but he said too old. And I said, and he said that, I think his name is Milo Thornton. He took a picture of what he said. It pretty much said that he can keep a secret.
Do you have saved screenshots of that?
It's not screenshots. On Snapchat you can do stickers. So I have stickers of everything that he said to me.
Okay.
There's 8 or 9 pictures of everything.
Can I see those?
Yeah.
Now, you said he was kind of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
You said he was kind of being flirtatious, saying, oh my God, you're so pretty. And I mean, did he give the impression that he wanted to get into a relationship with you?
I can get you a better one. Not into a relationship. That's the one that I was just talking about. You could take it. Not into a relationship. He asked me if I could sneak out of my house. I told him no.
Did he ask you why? Like, how did that conversation go?
I'm pretty sure he asked how he was able to see me, and I told him he can't, because my parents are pretty strict about guys.
According to the victim, Key's presence at the school did not seem to be a coincidence. They had been communicating for over 2 years, which suggested he may have known where she would be.
So after you sent, was it before or after you sent the picture in the bathing suit that you guys were discussing your age?
I want to say it was before, because I didn't ask him about his age yet.
Okay.
He had me. He asked how I was doing because we haven't talked since 2 years ago.
Okay.
I said fine. I honestly don't remember how my age got brought up, but I told him I was 16.
Okay.
So today I saw him at the metal detectors when I was going in.
He was here?
Yes.
Okay.
And I had a little bit of a freak out. Not sure why. It just really, really bothered me seeing him. And I was standing with my friend because she drives me to school, and I told her that was him. I went to the bathroom, I saw him again, had to walk past him, kept my head down. And then I went to my third period, and I was talking because she makes it really easy to talk to her, so I was talking to her. And I showed her one of the pictures, and she said that she was a mandatory reporter, so she reported it.
Okay.
She pulled me out, and I talked to her and the sheriff that was in there. And then he said that he had to call one of my. I told him it was probably best to call. It's really difficult to get a hold of.
Okay. Here. Is she like a counselor?
I
or
want to say
is she like
she's
a
some
guidance
sort of administrator.
admin? Okay.
Okay. When you say, because I saw the ones that says, I want to see the other side, things like that.
I'm assuming your butt.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It was me in a bathing suit.
Did he specifically ask for, like, how did he ask for, you say he asked for names, what was the specific verbiage he used?
Take that off, or take off your pants, or something of the sort of like take off your clothes.
As the investigation progressed and the case became public, another victim came forward, revealing that Key followed the same pattern when approaching his victims.
Yeah.
So how did you meet him?
So just.
Okay. And how long ago did you meet him?
Ooh.
Ballpark.
Years
ago?
A little over a year.
Okay. Do you know how old he is?
Yes.
How old is he?
He's 20 this April.
Okay. Yes, you do know that. Does he know how old you are?
Yes.
How does he know that?
Because I told him.
How old were you? So you would have been at what age when you? And he knew at that time.
Yes.
Okay. So he has absolutely 100% knowledge of your age.
Yes.
Okay. And did you became friends on Snapchat just because you know him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you ever have a relationship with him? Did you ever consider yourself dating?
No, not like a serious, not like an actual relationship.
Just kind of talking and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of, yeah.
Okay. And how were the conversations? Because, like I said, we have his phone. We did a search warrant on his phone, so we do have a lot of the content. I got a search warrant through Snapchat that should be coming, but a lot of the content that he has saved to his phone, I want to know what you actually sent him to your knowledge.
Yeah. So, just probably everything that you saw was just true, just not things that I'm not really proud of.
Okay.
You know, he's older. I thought I really liked him. I don't want to victimize myself or be dramatic in any way, because that's not how someone should go about this, you know. But I was manipulated, and he would say things and stuff, and not even manipulated oh, I like you so much, do it please, just in the sense that and I know my dad trusts me and everything, so it's not the worst thing.
Right.
I just I did do things I'm not proud of.
The suspect used tactics to lure his victims. According to the girl, after she sent photos, he began making a series of threats if she tried to block him, harassment that didn't stop.
Did he send you any pictures of himself?
Yes.
Anything nude?
Yes.
Okay. Are they still on your phone?
No, I never have had them. It was on Snapchat, so I just clicked off of it. I never saved them. I guess he could have saved something, or taken a picture of it, because I know he has 2 phones.
Okay.
I know that, and I guess he uses it to do that. But
how do you know that? Other than you're very intelligent, but how do you know that?
Know what?
That he uses another phone to image the phone.
Well, I know he has another phone because of my experience with him, and just some stuff that would happen, and if I blocked him or whatever, he would use his other phone to text me. Stuff like that, and then I kind of just connected the dots from there, and especially this, if he still has them, it's probably because of his other phone, because with Snapchat, it tells you when people screenshot or save, and I never got that, obviously, hence why it went on for a little bit, but,
right.
Not even a little bit, just hence why it went, on in the first place.
Right.
I never was comfortable, I never wanted to do it, and he was just pretty adamant, just manipulative things that I totally fell for. But yeah, I haven't to anybody else, and it was just kind of him in my life was just a complete, I was just a different person when I would come in contact with him, different person, and he so.
Does your mom give you, and the way you speak right now, you pretty much, you're the one that's gonna make your own decisions, and the fact that it sounds like he kind of swayed you on things that you normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Is what you're trying to refer to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Investigators identified at least 4 underage victims, with the possibility of more. On March 5th, 2024, just 1 day before his swearing in, Key was arrested on multiple charges.
Hey, bud. Good, how are you? Like I said, this is just the stuff for everything that you turned in yesterday. Right there with the signature for me, if you can sign. Where was that at? Right here. That's a signature. That's yours. How are you? Good. The warrant for your arrest? Can you read through that? Yeah, that. Do you want to get on some slides or something? Absolutely. I'll be right back. Don't have anything on you, right? No, nothing at all. Separate your feet for me. Just relax. Usually is when they get kicked off.
He has an attorney, Andy Metcalf.
I'll just give him a call. Yeah,
Yep.
he can
Let him know.
Or tomorrow, or he might even contact you.
All right.
And Andy can go to first appearance and enter whatever on his behalf and handle that. So
Usually, if you have a lawyer, they usually kind of push you in front, but it's a when you get seen, it's like I said, 8 o'clock to.
Yeah.
Let him
Here I can sign.
Yeah. Just wait on the hood of that car.
In the end, Key Cromer pleaded guilty to 3 amended counts of possession of obscenity harmful to minors. He was sentenced to 8 months in county jail and received a permanent felony conviction. Up next, an anonymous letter arrived at a police department with a disturbing accusation that a retired officer with over 30 years on the force had been having inappropriate conversations with a 14-year-old girl.
You're going to be under arrest, okay? It's not a joke, okay? That's why we're geared up, okay? The charge is basically having sexual communication with a minor.
It's facilitating, encouraging, offering, or soliciting sexual conduct or engaging in sexual communication.
Had information related to an inappropriate relationship with a 14-year-old.
On August 15, 2024, officers responded to an anonymous letter after parents discovered that their 14-year-old daughter had been engaging in inappropriate conversations with a police officer, exchanging over 60 messages a day. But as the investigation progressed to uncover his identity, it led to a veteran officer who had been with the department for decades.
What you doing, Tim? Hey, just listen to me, okay? You're going to be under arrest, okay? It's not a joke, okay? That's why we're geared up, okay? I know you got a gun. I'd love to talk to you. I'm going to explain everything to you, but we got to take care of this right now. Okay?
What's up?
So I'm going to tell you, but we're going to deal with this stuff right here. Okay? All right.
Yeah.
Is it on a belt, like through the loop, so we can just take off your belt and it'll come with it?
Take the gun out.
Okay, that's fine too. Anything else on you besides the knife? Any other guns, ankle holster, anything like that? Okay, I'm just going to check you real quick.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is we'll go upstairs. We're going to visit with you, tell you all the ins and outs of it.
Okay.
And then if you want to talk to us, great. If you don't, we'll let you know from there. Okay, let me just check you real quick. You can sit over there if you like. I'm just going to sit right here. You can sit over there if you like. I'm just going to sit right here. Take these off.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Like I said, you're being arrested, okay? Basically, long story short, the charge is basically having sexual communication with a minor. That's what this is about, okay? Obviously, you know the process. I'm not going to change anything up just because of who you are, but obviously we've known each other for a long time, so it's not going to be comfortable for either of us, I wouldn't assume. Being under arrest, though, I got to read your rights.
Sure.
At the end of that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I know you know it. I just got to do it. Okay.
The suspect was identified as Tim, a veteran with over 30 years on the force. When investigators sat him down, he showed no reaction. He knew exactly how the process worked, and he used that knowledge to his advantage.
Okay. I'm going to read it, and then I'll give you the opportunity to read it as well. Before we ask you any question, you must understand your rights under the Miranda decision. You have the right to remain silent. You understand that?
Sure.
And then having these rights in mind, you wish to talk to me now.
You ask questions, and I may or may not, but I think I know what it's about, but
Okay.
you go ahead.
And that's the deal. Obviously, I'll ask questions, and if you answer them, that's fine. You can stop at any time, that type of deal.
Sure, I understand.
As long as we're clear on that, I've got a few questions. Obviously, we have one side of the story, and that's why we need to talk to you.
Sure, I understand.
So having these rights in mind, you wish to talk to me now?
Yeah, I want to know, I'm being charged with what?
It's basically, I can read it to you.
Can I read that? Just as
Yeah.
I'd like to read the report or the statement or something.
Well, obviously, the report's not completely done. The probable cause will be public record, so you'll have access to that.
Yeah.
So,
But before I talk to you, I want to see what allegations have been made.
well, the allegations will probably explanatory in the charge that's listed. It's facilitating, encouraging, offering, or soliciting sexual conduct or engaging in sexual communication with a minor or a person believed to be a minor. That is the state statute.
Okay, go ahead.
okay. So having these rights in mind, you wish to talk to me?
Let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You can ask questions.
This form right here is just stating you understand, signature right here and all signed.
At this point, with years of experience on his side, officers knew they couldn't simply outplay him. As part of their strategy, they began to reveal the reasons behind the letter outlining the accusations against him. But Tim showed no fear, only a quiet sense of control, driven by his own ego.
So, probably a couple of weeks ago, I got a letter. There was a letter sent to the chief's office. Okay, and it had information related to an inappropriate relationship with a 14-year-old.
Texting.
And so, obviously, our job, the letter had some information in it that pretty much directed it to you.
Right, yeah.
Based on circumstances, the letter, what the information in the letter, everything, we could rule out everybody but you, based on the information in the letter, how it was worded, how it was written, and so forth.
Yeah.
And so we started working on the case, and we were able to gather some information.
How long ago?
This would have been last summer, so it's been a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
And so, one, I would ask you, do you know what we're talking about when we talk about?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So tell us what are we doing? Why would somebody be writing this letter?
Was it my sister?
Could have been.
Miller, Sherry Miller?
Could have been.
Or it was Jim Morches, one of the two.
And who? Sherry is?
My sister.
Okay. And Jim?
Is he's the father of.
Okay. Okay. And so that's what the deal is. I will tell you, we've talked to a lot of people, and that's why we're kind of here today.
This is totally a surprise to me.
I believe you.
Yeah, I mean,
I believe you.
it's crazy.
But why would we get this information? Why would we get this letter? Why are their concerns valid?
Officers knew how quickly their colleague could rely on his tactics to deflect attention. Tim remained unusually calm in his responses, using that composure as a way to manipulate them.
Here's where I'm at right now. If I tell you my story without incriminating me, am I going to walk out here today?
Well, you've been arrested.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
So I have to be booked in and all that other stuff. Yeah. So why should I carry on? Maybe I should just get an attorney. Is it going to help me to talk to you?
So here's what, obviously my job, and I've been doing it a long time. And
You had, so there's nothing been filed with the DA yet? Okay, all right.
And so obviously my job is obviously to grab as much information as possible and present it to the people that make the ultimate decision of whether formal charges would be filed.
Right, but regardless of what is done here today, I will end up in jail. So I don't know why I should talk to you without an attorney.
It's up to you.
I don't see that would help me any.
And it's your world, right?
Well, I understand that, but
it's your decisions, what you think is best, what's not best. If you think this is not right, or if it's not accurate,
it's not.
It's curious to me why people are gunning for you with this type of information, that's all. And that is a decision you have to make based on whether or not you think it's important for me to know at this point in time.
I just don't know why we talked and she understood the situation and she just was pissed off. My sister, I guess I just really pissed her off.
Well, we're talking, 7 months later?
I know.
Tim, in a manipulative strategy, suggested that the letter could have been fabricated, claiming that after a possible dispute with his sister, she may have created it as an act of revenge, an attempt to maintain the image of an innocent retired officer.
So she reported this 7 months ago?
I just got the information, the week before last?
So, where did you get the information?
A letter came to the chief's office.
From?
From an anonymous.
Just recently?
Wow. Mid-March. So yeah, based on what we know, we're talking August, September of last year.
Mhm. Have you read any text? Have you seen any of the text that was written?
Well,
Back and forth?
Is that going to help you
I think it will. Yeah.
between you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we've talked.
Mm-hmm. And she lied, probably, made something up.
Why would she lie?
I don't know, but why am I here?
Well, because of the information that came out so far.
Well, what came out is not probably accurate, but I don't know that I need to talk to you guys anymore.
That's okay.
Yeah. All right, let's do what we need to do. I'll post bail and hopefully post bail and go home.
Yeah. What do you have in your pockets? I just soon put everything up here, and then we'll go down. This is your phone.
Mhm.
Is this a department issue? Or
No, that's mine.
We're gonna take that. Okay. The thing about that, you want to give us consent to look in your phone? Okay. We're gonna get a search warrant.
Sure.
It's okay. We totally get it now. I'm not saying anything negative towards you. I mean, you have your rights. And we're gonna do things by the book, but we're gonna get a search warrant for your phone, and then we'll just keep trying to gather information.
At this point, realizing his strategies weren't working, Tim began to show concern about what might happen to him.
The information we gathered thus far is enough to,
It's going to ruin my life.
you're not telling us anything we haven't talked about a million times. Like I said, this is
And I'm
not.
retiring in 18 days. And there's the possibility I could lose my retirement.
And although we hear you, that ultimately isn't what we base our decisions on. It's the information we gather. So, like I said, you want to talk to the lawyer, I'm going to tell you this. When you get out, you get a lawyer, and you think it's beneficial to come back and talk.
Oh, sure.
Come back and
I'll
talk
talk
to
to
me.
the attorney first.
Yeah, and then come back and talk to
Mhm.
me. Again, you know, doing this work, and I've been doing it a long time, the more information I have, the better decisions we make. And so, without saying anything else, 'cause we've already done that, but I just want you to know.
I really do want to tell you. It's my story or what happened, but I'm not sure that that's going to benefit me right now.
And it may not.
Yeah, because I'm still.
I don't know what that is.
I'm still going to get booked in.
Yeah. But that's why I open it up. After this process, if you think that's important to you and you need counsel here, more power to you, Tim. I swear to goodness, that's fine. It's not intimidating to me, right? And let's sit down and visit about it, you know? Because I've still got some time. We've still got some work to do. And we're going to try to do the best we can on it. That's all. I just want you to understand that. And part of visiting with you is part of that. So definitely keep it open. Talk to your attorney. Holler at me.
As it became clear there was no way out, Tim began to show concern, but not for the accusations themselves. Instead, his focus shifted to protecting his reputation.
Any questions before we get out of here?
No, you just get through the process so I can.
I'm going to give you my card. That'll have my number on it just in case.
Am I going to have to run out the county?
I'm going to find out for you. I'll find out for you.
Yeah.
And let you know.
Please. I know that. I'm pretty sure that we've done this before. Bonding people out here. Certain people like myself, so they wouldn't have to go to the county.
I'll check.
Okay.
No question about anything. We're going to go. We're going to go out the same elevator we came in. Go down to the basement and then across instead of walking all the way down these halls.
Sure.
Then we'll go from there. Okay. All right. Keep them together.
Keep all this together, maybe even to include
How
your
about
wife.
just throw this stuff in my car?
Well, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, if you're good with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or we can do it right on the way.
Yeah, we'll just do it.
So the keys will be where?
They're gonna be with you.
Okay.
In the property.
Yeah, until you say something else, you know, like if you want her to come up, but if she's got her own set, then, you know, she can make
We
arrangements.
just have to get her in.
She.
You gonna leave all your stuff here?
Yeah.
So, we're gonna throw it on the car, right?
Yeah. Just less to hang on to, hold on to. But definitely keep your wallet with you.
In the end, Tim was arrested and charged with sexual misconduct involving a young person. Next, officers received a call about a man engaging in inappropriate behavior in a public park. But what it led them to was someone who was supposed to protect the public.
Call on a subject matching your description.
Okay.
Blue jeans, blue sweatshirt.
Yep.
Walking around with his out.
I suppose it could have been a strap-on though that he was wearing through his pants. More in disbelief, like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? This can't be really happening. No, I think this is really happening.
We're going to work on confirming whether you are actually work for the sheriff's department.
On October 14th, 2024, officers were dispatched after a woman called police while jogging with her dog along the Reed Lake Trail. As she passed a man walking toward her, something caught her attention. The man had exposed his genitals through his zipper. Distressed by the incident, she immediately reported it. But what officers didn't know was that the man they were about to identify was someone tasked with protecting the public from crimes like this.
Hi, sir. Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh, not too shabby.
What's going on?
Oh, just walking around the lake.
Just walking around the lake?
Yeah.
Okay. Where'd you start at?
Over by Reed's Lake.
Okay. Like Reed's Lake Boulevard, where?
Just south of here.
South of there?
Yep.
Okay. Reason I wanted to talk to you, we had a call on a subject matching your description.
Okay.
Blue jeans, blue sweatshirt.
Yep.
Walking around with his penis out.
Okay.
So obviously I see you and go, well, okay. Matches the description, might as well
Sure.
get a conversation in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any ID on you?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
What's your name?
Dennis.
Dennis, have you ever been in trouble before?
I have not.
8121, go ahead. 8125, just got traffic.
Dennis, what's your middle name?
Evan.
Can you try to reach me, please? 8125, your status?
8125, I'm out with one. Lakeside in the Boulevard. Dennis, what's your last name?
Evans.
Copy.
What's your middle name?
Lakeside and Boulevard.
Dennis Evans?
Williams.
4110, forward around.
What's your date of birth?
1011 84.
And what's a good phone number for you? Okay. And what's your address?
Am I being detained or?
Well, right now I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you.
Okay.
Trying to figure out whether you're a potential suspect, whether somebody didn't see something right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get all the information
Sure.
so I can put it in the report and
I understand.
list it that way.
Yep.
During an initial check, before he was stopped, officers had spotted the suspect running, possibly in an attempt to hide. But things became even more unusual when, after providing his information, the suspect, initially identified as Dennis Evans Williams, didn't appear in any police database.
Well, at this point, we'll say you're being detained until I figure out what's going on and get a better description of the person and see what we can figure out from there.
Sure.
Does that seem fair?
Yep.
Okay. What's your address? If you don't want to give it to me, that's fine.
Yep.
When I run you, I'll get it that way.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
Now, I think I saw you when I passed by the first time.
Yep.
And you went back that way.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw you walk over here, and you were looking back that way, and then you kind of started to run for a second this way. Why was that?
I have no clue.
Okay. Because I think you started to run this way, saw me, and then you stopped running.
Okay.
That seemed a little odd to me, based on everything that I had heard.
Sure.
Could you see where that would be the case?
Absolutely. No, I mean, I saw you here. I wouldn't have stopped running, I guess, if I thought it was suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Was there a reason you ducked back in the woods when I went by the first time?
I don't know if it's a bridge or like an old stone. I don't even know what it is back there. But yeah, I was just checking it out.
You were just checking that out?
Yep.
Okay.
Information for Cannon Township Unit,
Okay.
on a traffic hazard, 5 miles.
Want to sit tight with him while I run him real quick? All right, Dennis. I don't know if I copied something down wrong or you're not giving me the right information.
Okay.
So let's go over your full name again. Dennis is your first name?
Yep.
D-E-N-N-I-S?
Yep.
What's your middle name?
Evan?
E-V-A-N?
Yep.
And your last name again?
Williams?
W-I-L-L-I-A-M-S?
Yep.
Okay.
1011
And
84.
do you have a Michigan driver's license?
No.
Have you ever had a Michigan driver's license?
A while ago.
Do you have a driver's license anywhere, any other states?
No.
Have you been in trouble before?
No.
You don't have an ID on you right now?
I don't.
Nothing on you?
No.
All right, sit tight. Let me see what else I can find out.
Okay.
The suspect continued to repeat the same information. Still nothing came back. Meanwhile, after the 2 failed attempts to identify the suspect, the victim drove past the scene and confirmed to officers that the man in front of them was the same person she had seen on the trail.
Okay. Here's where we're at.
Okay.
I got in touch with the victim. Victim drove by. She gave me a description when I talked to her. She drove by, said 100%, no doubt in her mind it was you.
Okay.
So, here's what we're going to do. You're going to give me your proper name, you're going to give me your address, and then we're going to go from there.
Okay.
All right? So let's start with proper name.
That's what I gave you.
So Dennis Williams.
Evan Williams.
Dennis Evan Williams.
101184.
And what's your address?
Don't really have one.
You don't have one.
Not really staying anywhere.
How'd you get here?
41.
Drove.
Oh, where's your car at?
North side of south side of Reed's Lake.
10-4. 4244. If you want
Over by the eastbound line?
Yep.
What kind of car is it? Yeah, what kind of car?
It's an Impala.
Where have you stayed for the last 6 years?
Just kind of bouncing back and forth. I guess I never really had a mailing address.
Okay. You can see where I think some of this is really kind of confusing and funny. It seems like there's a lot missing here.
Sure.
Were you in jail? Were you in prison? Were you in any type of mental health facility?
No.
No? So for the last 6 years, you haven't had a place to live, a true place to live. Where does your vehicle register to?
Should be me.
But what address is it registered to?
I guess I'm not sure. It's been a while.
Do you know what the license plate is?
No, it's not my head.
At this point, he continued to refuse to provide his true information, leaving officers with no other option.
Okay. Thing for right now is I'm trying to figure out exactly who you are. I'm going to have you have a seat in the back of my car.
Okay.
You're not under arrest at this point. We just got to figure out who you are, man.
Sure.
That's
I can tell you, here's what's going to happen today.
What?
All right? At this point, what's going to happen, I'll be getting the information. I want to figure out who you are for sure. Obviously, I kind of need that at this point. We will be releasing you from the scene after I can figure that out. And then we'll be in touch with the prosecutor's office. Prosecutor's office can decide what they want to do with you. All right?
Sure.
So that's what we're looking at. Questions on that? Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
Let's step over here. I'll have you have a seat in my car. Step up against the car. Yeah. You got a touchdown?
Yep.
I got fingers. Is this why you didn't want us to pat you down?
Well, part of it.
Okay. We'll get to the rest here shortly.
Not really, but. No, I tried to pull my wife.
Okay.
On this call.
All right, bring the other arm down. I'm going to have to go send the cops.
I was trying to slide it over for you.
Pull that one down.
Stand up straight. It's done.
From here on out, Dennis, if that's your real name, just give the real info, because then we can go get you printed, and we're going to figure out all that stuff.
Sure. John, I did not finish patting him down.
Yep.
Have a seat. Not comfortable.
Yeah, no,
Like I said.
I can't imagine.
All right. What's your real name?
So, here's the deal. This has nothing to do with what you guys stopped me for today. I'm supposed to be at work. All right. I told my wife I was supposed to be at training today. I didn't want to go to work. I took a vacation. She just thinks I'm at work.
During the search, officers found a weapon, something that immediately raised suspicion, as the suspect appeared to be a civilian. But as the situation unfolded, his identity was revealed as Troy Allen White. What they were about to discover would change the course of the case.
So, you have your full name then?
Yes.
Yeah, what is it?
Troy.
4534, I can find another.
Allen, A-L-L-E-N. White, just like the color. 10/31/86.
And you obviously don't want your wife to know what's going on.
Kind of why we're here. Is there any way I could write you something?
Huh?
Is there any way I can get a pen and a piece of paper?
For?
Just so I can write you something.
Yeah, you can do that.
About 5 minutes. We're ready for that. My dad was stolen from job site in Spring Federal.
4670, do you have a description of the child? He's about 11 years old. I'm being told a black and green sweatshirt. I'm just coming into the area now. 10th floor.
Okay. Slide your feet in. I got some stuff to figure out.
Okay.
Like, what you put down. So,
About what I put down.
yeah, you work for the Sheriff's Department? Okay, what do you do there?
4119,
Why'd you lie to me?
yeah, from 4119,
My
1519.
wife finding out I was not at work when I said I was.
4528, 4120, status check.
Obviously, at this point, I got to confirm that you work for the Sheriff's Department. Which then would generally let you have the gun, but not having any ID seems like a mistake on your part. Is that in your car?
I can give you my MCO's number.
So here's where we're at this point. We're going to work on confirming whether you are actually work for the Sheriff's Department.
The suspect wasn't just a civilian, but a 10-year veteran deputy with the Kent County Sheriff's Office, who knowingly provided a false identity, despite fully understanding it was against the law.
After we confirm that,
It was a neighbor, but we don't know who. They never answered on callback.
because you don't have a CPL listed, or it didn't, actually I'll have to run it a little different.
Should be covered on wheels, I guess.
Yes, it would be. But generally with Leosa, you have to carry your ID with you too.
Sure.
But that's a different story. The false name is obviously an issue, and the original accusation is obviously an issue. But
Well, like I said, the name was, again, I'm not supposed to be at work, so that's why I was concerned about that.
and why is it you just didn't want to be home today?
Just finally a day off. On my days off, I got the kids all day, so again, she thought I was at training, which I originally did have training planned, but they canceled it last minute, so the babysitter was already coming out. So it was one of those, either I say, hey, training got canceled, the babysitter stays home,
You're
I'm
out to
stuck
large
with the kids.
complaint at Central Station.
I'm at training.
Caesar Charlotte.
and I'm not. If that makes sense.
Nope, I understand. All right, here's the deal. So we're gonna run you to the Sheriff's Department. Gonna P&P you there, take you to Ottawa County, lodge on false info, indecent exposure, $100 bond for each.
Okay.
So you'll be able to post bond tonight. I'm gonna tell you you're gonna get suspended when we get down to the Sheriff's Department here. I'm gonna meet with Lieutenant Van Single. She has questions in regards to your vehicle and whether your tax stuff is in your vehicle.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's around somewhere. Is that something we can secure? So it's not sitting in the car, in the truck. Obviously, they're going to want that back as duty weapons if you're going to be suspended.
Yeah, no, they can get it out of there.
Okay.
Troy gave consent to search his truck. Inside, officers found 3 additional Sheriff's Department firearms and ammunition. But what they discovered beyond that was even more disturbing, raising questions that led investigators to speak with the victim to understand what may have happened beyond the initial call.
1523.
I just have a few other questions. This question might seem a little strange, but what you saw, you described it as his penis.
Right.
Do you know what color it looked like?
So I was thinking about this a lot last night because one of the officers asked me, "Are you sure it was his penis?" And I was like, yeah.
Okay.
And then I started to think, well, I suppose it could have been a strap-on dildo that he was wearing through his pants. But it was certainly an erect penis that was very, and this is why I noticed, because it was a very white compared to his pants.
Got it.
Like, that's what caught my eye.
Got it. It was very white compared to his pants. There was a definite contrast.
Right.
Okay. So it was, you're saying it's white or light in color. Okay. All right. That's helpful. And it...
Because that is what caught my eye, was that color contrast in
Yeah.
a place where a color contrast should not be.
Yep. And to you, did
And
it
I
look...
could see top of pants and then that.
Okay. And it was...
So it was like out of the fly.
It was out of the fly.
The victim knew what she had seen. It was the evidence needed to close the case.
You mentioned, I think, to Sergeant Colster at the time when you talked to him. And did it appear real?
I can't say that I was super interested in
Right. I know you didn't want to, glance. You didn't want to.
visual analysis.
Yes.
More in disbelief, like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? This can't be really happening. No, I think this is really happening.
Right.
And as I'm running by, and so seeing it in profile, very straight.
Okay.
So for whatever that's worth.
Okay. Okay. But is it fair? I mean, just from talking to you yesterday, you made it clear that it was completely erect, and it's fair that it appeared to be real to you.
Oh yeah. And the thing that I was thinking last night is that, okay, even if it is a dildo, that's still not cool.
Of course not.
To be walking around town with that sticking out of your pants.
Right.
Like that's conveying the same essence.
In the end, Troy Allen White was charged with indecent exposure and providing false information to police. He later posted bond and was released, but following the public exposure of the case, he resigned from the sheriff's office a week later. Next up, when a national tip line flagged suspicious activity on a device linked to a police officer, and what investigators found was far worse than anyone expected.
Your electronic device in your possession and was reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So what happened was some images and some GIFs were uploaded through the backup service. It's called Synchronos, is the backup service for like Verizon and stuff like that. I'm currently, your cell phone is through. So out of those 141, almost all of them were child.
On May 25th, 2022, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in New Mexico reported to police that a server linked to a police officer showed suspicious activity involving inappropriate conversations and images with minors. What began as a tip would soon lead to the discovery of multiple crimes committed over several months.
Hey, Special Agent Owen Pena, Special Agent in Charge Clarence Gibson. Yes, sir. I have a search warrant for your residence. Okay. I have a search warrant for any electronic device that's on your person. Okay. So you need to turn over any cell phone you have. Is this the only cell phone? Yeah. Is this personal, or which one's personal? Which personal. Work. Okay. I'm gonna ask you if you want to sit down and talk with us about why we have a search warrant for your residence. This is up to you. It's totally up to you. I'm not gonna, we can't force you to speak with us. Yeah. If you want to speak with us, we'll go behind the door here, and me and the Special Agent Gibson we'll talk with you. All right, come on in. Like I said, we'll go behind the door so no one else can. Just go ahead and have a seat right there for me. So due to the fact this is an interview, okay? I'm going to tell you what I do, okay? Is I do internet crimes against children, okay? There's been some reports of some incidents of some activity coming from your electronic device in your possession and was reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I'm just here to get your side of the story. I'm not here to pass any... No, you're fine. First of all, what you, like everything else we have to do is call your advisement of rights, okay? I'm going to give you a page to go along with me, all right? But first of all, what's your full name, sir? Robert Strand. There's a thing called the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So what happened was some images and some GIFs were uploaded through the backup service. It's called Synchronos. It's a backup service for like Verizon and stuff like that. Currently, your cell phone is through.
Initial analysis revealed that monitoring software had flagged suspicious messages coming from a private phone, active both inside and outside the police station. The suspect, identified as Robert Strand, attempted to claim he had no idea why his device had been flagged.
So when you first sign up for Verizon, you get this 3-month backup service for free. What happened was, when you had your cell phone and you had that service, everything that you had on your phone got backed up. Okay. By federal law, all providers, all of what they call ESPs or electronic service providers, are required by federal law that if they see anything that meets the state criteria or meets the criteria for or looks like child for your child use materials, they have to report it to the National Center for Exploitation. So at that point, there was 5. And so what happens when the National Center for Exploited Children gets it, these reports, they have to look at, okay, where does the cell phone come back to, who's connected to the cell phone, what emails, and before we go any further, do you have any email addresses? Okay. So I will tell you, that is the email that was attached to these, and this was also the same phone number that was attached to all those reports going forward. So, so it captures a lot of information. So, like if you log in your phone with your email or whatever, it's going to catch that, and all that stuff gets reported up. In this case, there was 5 separate times, and so it basically lasted between January of 2021 and about March, sometime in March, like March 22nd, March 25th of 2021 is when we got the reports. I'm not saying that's when the backup happened. Did you get that? Did you get a new phone around January of 2021?
I think so. I think that's when I bought it. I'm not sure.
Is it this current phone or is it a different phone?
It's this one.
Okay.
But the situation was far worse than it appeared. In a more subtle approach, the images were sent to children through GIFs and memes, seemingly harmless, but with intentions that were anything but innocent.
So when all these images, so throughout the full 5 cyber tips, there was 141 images. And some of them are GIFs. Do you know what a GIF is? It's like a little meme type thing where there's like a short video type thing. There's generally no sound. It's a clip. So out of those 141, almost all of them were child pornography. So then I did a search warrant to Synchronos. And they gave me pretty much everything that was backed up. And in that backup was, pictures of you, some videos of you that weren't child materials, and like your guide licenses and stuff. I have PDFs and stuff like that, text messages and stuff like that. So I'm just here to find out how those images were on your, because we know they were on your phone because they got backed up. How they got to your phone, okay? And I'm just here to just to get your side. I'm not here to cast any. I'm not a judge, and I'm not a jury. I'm just here to get your side story. How did this happen? Make me understand is how this happened.
Well, there's probably nothing I can say that's going to make you understand. But
well, let's just I'll give you a little bit about my background. Is I've been doing these now since 2009, and I'm not here. And I've heard every different kind of this and that, and I'm not here. All I want is. And to be honest, I'm going to be totally straight with you if you're totally straight with me, and I think that's just a respect thing. I mean, that's the same thing I've always respected, especially Agent Gibson, in charge Gibson, because he's always been straight with me, and I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not here to. I'm just here to figure out how that happened, and to also go further and make sure that there's. And ultimately to make sure there's no child that's
As investigators asked more precise questions, new details began to emerge. When questioned about how the content could have ended up on his phone, Robert searched for an explanation, but it was soon shattered by the truth.
I just want to hear your side of how this happened.
I don't really know.
All right, let's just go. So how did you first come in knowledge of these images that were out there, and how did they get to your phone?
Pretty much I was downloading porn.
Okay.
And then.
And when you say let's just break it into
just everything.
Adult or child.
Adult.
Okay. That's how it started.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened? Did you just found it and then got an interest in it?
A little bit.
Okay.
But then everything's deleted. So.
Okay. So do you know when you got this phone exactly?
I don't.
Okay. And where did you get that phone from?
I ordered it through Verizon.
Verizon, okay. So the time frame we were talking about, January 2021 to March 2021, those images and GIFs were on your phone?
No.
No. When did you get rid of them? Exactly.
All.
Okay.
I got rid of all right away.
Okay, and when do you mean right away?
I
just need to know because I want to make sure that the National Center isn't reporting something that it wasn't true.
Right.
For one, and just to find a time frame of when you had those images.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
And I couldn't even tell you if it was child.
Okay.
I couldn't.
Okay, so here's the other question I have. When I did that search warrant to Synchronos, which is the backup service for Verizon, they didn't report any adult with it.
Yeah.
It's all child.
Robert struggled to clearly explain the situation. He admitted to visiting adult websites, but when asked whether any of them involved minors, his expression shifted, showing a hint of fear as he denied it.
So when you were going out and just looking for, how'd you go looking for it?
Just on the internet.
Okay. So you'd get it on the internet just off your phone? Just on your phone, no other devices or anything?
No, that's all I really have.
You don't have any computers or anything at the house or?
No, if I do, it doesn't work. I mean, you guys can go through my house.
Yeah, they're gonna, I mean, we have to, it's part of this, the search warrant. So just on the internet, was there any specific other sites that you went to that?
I
just late at night, going through your phone, looking for that type of deal?
Yeah. I did get viruses, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like I said, I don't.
And you don't remember this time period you were doing it? Was it before 2021? Was it after 2020? Okay. Did you ever see those images that of children?
I did see them when I got onto Cloud or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not Cloud. Whatever the Verizon thing is, and I erased them.
Okay.
Erased them. I said you can go through whatever.
And then nothing else after that?
No.
Okay. So, is there any time that you're alone with your niece?
No.
And what's your niece's name?
She's not even my niece. It's a buddy.
Oh, I thought it was your brother.
No.
Okay.
No.
Everyone thought that he was your brother.
No.
I was kind of wondering because he has a different last name. Alred.
Well, nobody's in danger of anything.
Okay. Well, let me ask you.
I understand because I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, because his name's Andrew, right?
Right.
Andrew. You've never been alone with his daughter?
No.
Okay.
At this point, officers informed Robert that images involving young people had already been found on his phone. In a desperate attempt to justify himself, the suspect continued to stand by his statements, even knowing that a full forensic search of the device would soon be conducted.
But never alone?
No.
Okay. Where does he live? Does he live? Someone says he lives.
Salmon.
Salmon? Okay. Because we had a little conflicting addresses. One where it showed he lived on Carolina with you, or
never.
And then okay. And you understand why we did the way we did this?
Yeah.
I mean, we always have to be careful. I mean, you understand this better than most anybody else that I've ever had to interview or do anything here. So. So once you saw it, you erased it. Never had any interest in it. You just got it when went looking for other adult. So were you just looking at it, and then you were you saving any of the fee that when you saw it, or?
I was probably piss poor drunk.
Okay. I mean, this happens.
So I couldn't even tell you.
Okay. So, just to let you know a little bit about what's going to happen with the phones. We have forensic people.
Right, they take it down.
They'll see everything, even stuff that you think you may have deleted.
Right.
And this is just, I'm just giving you your opportunity to become up front about anything else that may be, that you're not telling us here, that you may want to say different now than knowing that there are going to be full forensic exams done on this.
Right.
Without the full analysis of the suspect's personal files completed, officers warned that if illegal content was discovered, the consequences could become much more serious.
If there's anything that you need to change now, or tell me different now.
I told you I downloaded just, and
okay.
Once I realized that some things were bad, I erased it right away.
Okay. So what is going to happen? We're going to wait for the exams to be done. Okay. I have nothing to do with what's going to happen with the sheriff's department. But for now, currently right now, we're not arresting you unless either, because he's going to start the exam right now on these phones. If he finds anything on these phones, like I said, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. You know, I find any child or anything like that, we will arrest you.
Well, I know.
Okay. All right.
And like I said, everything that I've downloaded, whether would it be not this or that, and I've seen it, I erase it.
Okay.
It's like.
Okay, and like I said, that's why I wanted to get your side and to just be like, well, hey, I wanted to hear your understanding of it, and generally that's what we do is we don't automatically go in blind, going, okay, let's get this guy. None of the search warrants.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have your name, but they don't say where you work.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sorry about that. I had my hands full.
We'll let you know about the information as far as if there's anything located, if we need to go further on his person or on his work laptop or anything like that. Okay. And so I'll stay in touch. I don't have your number.
We don't need it. I mean, if you, because you guys are going to give us permission to search the work laptop, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And our IT is at your guys' disposal.
The case initially appeared to be resolved, but just 1 hour after the first interrogation, the suspect's phone was sent for forensic analysis. During a meticulous examination, investigators uncovered countless illicit files involving minors, signs of an officer who knew exactly how to conceal evidence. But after months of crimes involving children, there was no way out anymore.
Sir, can I have you do me a favor? Set your paperwork on the tailgate right there. Go ahead and place your hands behind your back for me. Go ahead and relax your legs. Okay. I want to get you into this vehicle quickly. Okay. But I don't want you to take anything you don't need to have. Alright. I need to double off these for you. Too tight on you? No. Okay, go ahead and walk with me this way. Real second. Go ahead and have a seat real fast. We have you out of the light, okay? Cool. You got it. So you guys did not search him, correct? No. I just want him in the car quickly because I don't want to make a big scene here. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. When I get him over there, I'll get him into a place where when I transfer the wheel, we'll search him better. Okay. But I just don't want this out for you guys. Okay? Cool. Okay? Okay. All right. We're going to get out of the way. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, Robert, I'm going to let Special Agent Owen Pena tell you why you're being placed under arrest at this time.
You're being placed under arrest where we'll be getting an arrest warrant for you, sworn out. today for possession of child pornography or possession of exploitation of a child of children possession statute.
Okay, the biggest thing for me is I do this for everybody. I don't want a big scene made about anything. So I'm going to be as discreet as possible. Cooperate with me, we'll be fine.
In the end, Robert Strand was arrested and charged with crimes related to illicit material involving minors.